Welcome to our channel Crime Loom, the place where true crime stories come alive.
George Haigh looked like an ordinary, polite man. He spoke well, dressed neatly, and appeared calm and intelligent. No one who met him for the first time would imagine the dark secrets he carried inside. But behind this normal appearance was one of the most disturbing criminals in British history. This is the story of George Haigh, a man who believed he had discovered the perfect way to commit murder and never be punished. He thought that if a body could not be found, then the law could not prove a crime had taken place. This belief would lead him down a terrifying path. During the 1940s, while Britain was already suffering from war and loss, Haigh carried out a series of cold and calculated murders. He did not kill out of anger or madness. He killed for money, control, and confidence in his own twisted logic. This video explores how an intelligent man used lies, manipulation, and a deadly misunderstanding of the law to commit horrific crimes. It is a story of arrogance, cruelty, and the moment when he realized that even the perfect crime can fail. George Haigh was a man whose crimes shocked Britain and left a dark mark on criminal history. He later became known as the acid bath murderer, a name that still creates fear even decades after his death. His story is not only about murder, but also about how a wrong belief, combined with greed and cold thinking, can lead to terrible consequences. George Haigh was born in 1909 in England. He was raised in a very strict religious family. His parents followed strong Christian beliefs and believed deeply in sin, punishment, and hell. As a child, Haigh was often frightened by stories about eternal suffering and divine judgment. These stories left a deep impression on his mind. Many people later believed that this fear affected his mental health as he grew older. Haigh was a smart child. He did well in school and showed talent in music. He learned to play the piano and the organ and even considered becoming a church musician at one point. On the surface, he appeared polite, educated, and well. However, inside, he felt restless and unhappy. He struggled to connect emotionally with others and often felt isolated as Haigh entered adulthood. He tried to build a normal life. He worked in different jobs, including journalism, advertising, and engineering-related work. However, he was unreliable. He changed jobs often and never stayed in one place for long. He wanted comfort, respect, and money, but he did not want to earn them through hard work. Haigh married a woman named Elspeth McLaughlin, and they had children together. However, he was not a good husband or father. He lied, cheated, and committed fraud. His marriage slowly fell apart, and his wife eventually left him. By this time, Haigh had already started down a criminal path. In the 1930s, Haigh was convicted of fraud and sent to prison. This would not be the last time he went to jail. He had a talent for lying and manipulating people, especially when money was involved. He enjoyed pretending to be successful and respectable, even when his life was falling apart. While in prison, Haigh spent a lot of time reading. He read books about law, crime, and famous criminal cases. However, he misunderstood what he read. From his limited knowledge, he formed a dangerous belief. He convinced himself that under English law, a person could not be convicted of murder unless the victim's body was found. This belief was completely wrong, but Haigh trusted it fully. He believed he had discovered a perfect loophole in the law. If there was no body, then there was no murder. This idea stayed with him and slowly grew into an obsession. After being released from prison during World War II, Haigh returned to society with a new plan. Britain was dealing with war, bombings, and shortages. People were distracted, and many families were separated. Haigh believed this was the perfect time to disappear people without raising suspicion. He decided to target wealthy individuals who lived alone or had limited family contact. He focused on people he could befriend and gain the trust of. Haigh was charming when he wanted to be. He spoke politely, dressed well, and sounded educated. Many people never suspected that he was dangerous. Once Haigh gained his victims' trust, he slowly moved closer to their money. He would offer to help with business matters, investments, or paperwork. In reality, he was planning their deaths. Haigh's first known murder took place in 1944. He killed a man named George Henderson, a wealthy associate. After killing him, Haigh dissolved the body in sulfuric acid. This was a horrifying process, but Haigh remained calm and methodical. He disposed of what little remained and then forged documents to take control of Henderson's property when nothing happened to him. Haigh felt powerful. His belief had been confirmed in his mind. No body had been found, and no one had accused him of murder. Instead, people believed Henderson had simply disappeared. Over the next few years, Haigh continued killing. Each victim followed a similar pattern. He gained their trust, murdered them, destroyed their bodies in acid, and stole their money and belongings. He often sold their possessions and lived off the profits. Haigh did not act out of rage or emotion. His crimes were cold and calculated. He saw his victims as tools for financial gain. To him, they were problems to be solved, not human beings. However, Haigh also began to show signs of arrogance. He believed he was smarter than the police and the law. He talked too freely and took risks. He sometimes told people stories that did not match reality. These small mistakes slowly built suspicion around him. In 1949, Haigh met Olive Durandican, a wealthy widow. She trusted him and believed he was helping her with business matters. Haigh invited her to his workshop under false reasons. There, he murdered her and placed her body in acid, just like the others, but this time things went wrong. Olive Durandican had close family members who noticed her sudden disappearance. They knew she had planned to meet Haigh when she did not return. They became worried and contacted the police. The police began investigating Haigh more closely. When they searched his workshop, they found disturbing evidence. Although the acid had destroyed most of the body, small remains were still present. These included bones, teeth, and personal items. This evidence was enough to prove that a human body had been destroyed. Haigh was arrested in 1949. Instead of denying everything, he shocked the police by calmly admitting what he had done. He explained his method and even spoke about his belief that the law could not punish him without a body. During questioning, Haigh showed little emotion. He spoke in a calm, confident manner, as if he believed he was still in control. He did not seem to fully understand that his plan had failed. At his trial, the courtroom was filled with reporters and observers. The public was fascinated and horrified by the case. Haigh appeared relaxed at first, believing that his legal theory would protect him. However, the prosecution made it clear that Haigh was wrong. They explained that a murder conviction does not require a complete body. Circumstantial evidence, forensic findings, financial records, forged documents, and Haigh's own confessions were more than enough. Experts testified about the remains found in the acid containers. Dentures were identified as belonging to Olive Durandican. This was a crucial moment in the trial. Haigh attempted to claim insanity. He said he drank blood and felt driven by uncontrollable urges. He spoke about strange thoughts and inner voices. However, medical experts examined him and concluded that he was legally sane. They believed he knew exactly what he was doing and understood the difference between right and wrong. The jury took time to consider the evidence, but the decision was clear. George Haigh was found guilty of murder. He was sentenced to death in 1949. Haigh was executed by hanging at Wandsworth Prison. He was 40 years old. His final moments were quiet. He showed no dramatic emotion, only calm acceptance. After his execution, the case of George Haigh became one of the most famous criminal cases in British history. It permanently destroyed the myth that no body means no murder. Police and courts made it clear that the absence of a body does not protect him. Killer Haigh's crimes also highlighted the importance of forensic science. Even small fragments of evidence can reveal the truth. His belief that acid could erase all proof was proven false. Today, Haigh is remembered as a symbol of cold, calculated evil. Unlike many killers driven by anger or passion, he killed for money and control. His intelligence made his crimes more dangerous, not less. His story is often told as a warning. Intelligence without empathy can become deadly. Confidence without morality can destroy lives. And believing one's own lies can lead to ruin. George Haigh thought he had found the perfect crime. In the end, it was his arrogance and misunderstanding of the law that brought him down. His victims may have been dissolved, but the truth remained. Even many years later, his name still creates unease. His crimes remind the world that justice does not depend on a body, but on evidence, truth, and accountability. And that is the dark legacy of George Haigh, the man who believed he could erase murder itself. In the end, George Haigh learned the truth. He refused to believe. A body was never required for justice to be done. Evidence, witnesses, and his own actions were enough to expose his crimes. The plan he trusted so completely became the very reason he was caught. His story remains a chilling reminder that intelligence without morality can be more dangerous than madness. Haigh believed he was smarter than the law, but the law proved stronger than his lies. Today, the name George Haigh is remembered not as a clever criminal, but as a warning that no crime is truly perfect, no matter how carefully it is planned, and that the truth has a way of surviving, even when someone tries to dissolve it away. If you found this story informative, consider liking the video and subscribing for more real crime stories. Thank you for watching.
For watching more amazing videos like this, subscribe our channel Crime Loom.